South, one of the largest constituencies in terms of voters and geographical size, a constituency that the BJP has held since 1991. The BJP has fielded incumbent MP Tejasvi Surya, a young leader who enjoys a lot of popularity and is also criticized for his brand of bigotry. Pitted against him is Soumya Reddy, a former MLA who is known for her citizen connect but also carries the baggage of being the daughter of a popular Congress leader. You've been pitted against Tejasvi Surya, who's won by a margin of 3 lakh votes last time. Do you think this is the toughest fight you've had so far?
Well, it's a huge constituency, and yes, reaching people, citizens, has been a big challenge. But no, not at all. It's been an absolute honor and privilege having been given the ticket, thanks to my party high command, and also I really want to thank all the our own party cadre, and especially all the citizens who have just been showering me with a lot of love, and they're like, we really want a representative like you, who's not just been accessible but also been committed to the causes of people. And also, I think the most important thing as a member of parliament is that you need to speak up for the citizens of Karnataka. And I, as an MLA for like 5 years, um, I did that. I mean, I think each and every one of us, as a voter, what do we expect from any elected representative is that the person has to be one, accessible, two, figure out what the issues are, be connected to people, and ensure that you resolve and come up with a solution as soon as possible. And also, if there is anything that's happening, any issue, make sure that you speak up. Make sure that you go and speak in the assembly, parliament. You might even have to like protest, but at the end of the day, you need to get the work done. And I think that's what a true elected people's representative is. And people have seen me do that in the past, and irrespective of who that is in power. And it's a huge responsibility, and I'm absolutely sure that on June 4th, not just here in Bangalore South, but across the state and the whole country, there's going to be a Congress and the Indian Alliance Party.
Before we go ahead with the questions, I want to remind our viewers at the News Minute and News Laundry that we are covering the elections together and bringing stories from across India. To support our work, become a subscriber today or contribute to our election fund. Talking about the issues, I want to say water crisis has been some kind of a headache here, and like a lot of people are blaming Congress for it. So, how are you combating that? And do you think it has become a poll headache for the party?
People like us who are like born and brought up in Bangalore, you when we speak to people who are like from the older generation, the past like 20, 30 years, Bangalore has suddenly grown. And I mean, yes, we have also become internationally very famous because of the ITBT boom since the 90s. But also at the same time, we're having to had to bear the brunt of a lot of things because the population has doubled, and so that's had a huge impact on our wonderful city. So it's obviously going to take a toll on everything, be it the land infrastructure, be it water, be it, I mean, the number of vehicles have increased. So there are traffic issues, and solid waste management. Every single day there's what 6,000 tons of garbage that's being generated in our city. So with working with everybody, citizens, stakeholders, non-profit organizations, resident welfare associations. I think the governments at every level, be it BBMP, be it the state government, and of course we need support from the central government, because to ensure that in the next couple of decades, we need to have a city which will really kind of ensure that we have a good quality of life, be it all, so that we can resolve all of these issues. And if we need to work on infrastructure, we also need funds. So unfortunately, the central government has been, you know, giving us barely any money. For example, if we are like giving about 100 rupees, which is getting back about 13.9, with the second highest contributors. Um, it's a very proud thing, but we're unfortunately our own money. You know, most of South India and Maharashtra, 7 states, we are the ones who are earning money, and we are the ones who are supporting the other states. But it's we shouldn't have to kind of get a raw deal out of it. And this is what we are fighting as well every single day. For the first time in history, our Chief Minister, DCM, on all the MLAs, we had to go and protest in Delhi. We imagine states having to go and file cases in the Supreme Court for getting drought relief. So under the past, so issues like this, especially related to solid waste management, garbage and water, it's not just an issue related to Bangalore. It's an issue that's happening in any big city. It's also happening. So this is something that we really need to look at things holistically. For example, I mean, we're getting water from 100 kilometers away. I mean, we need to look at getting, make it at Yojani. We need to look at things. How can we actually uh, rejuvenate our existing leaks? How can we do rainwater harvesting? And all of these things. And how can we also like start utilizing, for the first time, within a couple of months after the Congress government that came here in our state, we were able to actually help monetize the treated water from sewage treatment plants, which is really helpful in the apartments because it's mandatory for them to have it over there. So, having said that, we have a campaign called as Brand Bengaluru the past 10 months. DCM Mr. DK Shivkumar has started that, addressing all of these things, be it Clean Bengaluru, Green Bengaluru, Tech Bengaluru, education, and it could be culture, and it could be each and it could be environment, and so that we can. It's so important we have a very vibrant, robust civil society, and we need citizens, and we need everybody's support to make our city a wonderful place.
Our city is indeed wonderful, but one thing that is bugging me is that Bengaluru has never had a woman MP.
Yes.
What do you think are the reasons for that? Like, why is it taking so long for us to have a woman MP?
Well, it's actually quite unfortunate. It's not just a woman MP. At in the assembly, when I see it's when I won and became an MLA, out of 224, it was only 10 women. That's just 4%. And in the parliament, it's about 12% in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha at 16%. But then, when I would go to the BBMP council, it is 50%. 102 out of 198, which is an amazing thing. It's actually thanks to, Mr. For the Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, at every level, be it panchayat and corporator. So this is something that we were fighting for. That for the past, the Women's Reservation Bill was introduced 26 years ago, and we need representation. Our issues are different, what we go through in life is different, and that's exactly why we, the 50% of the population across the state, across the country, need proper representation. Yes, for the first time in, I guess, in history, I guess you'll see a woman MP on the 4th of June.
Also, like coming to recent statements that the Prime Minister Modi has made about how Congress is going to, use public wealth to and give it to the Muslims. And Tejasvi Surya has supported that statement. What is your take on Prime Minister's statement and his endorsement?
It's very disappointing that the Prime Minister of the country really talks about all of these things. You're not, in fact, the election commission is really supposed to kind of do their job. You're not supposed to be talking about religion or all of these things. And I think, and even what, you can do a fact check, even what he said, it's absolutely not true. And I think at the end of the day, BJP is resorting to talking about religion time and again, and even right now, just a couple of days before elections, is because they know that they're losing. For the past 10 years, if they would have done what they promised, be it 2 crore jobs, be it doubling MSP, be it 15 lakhs in the Jandan account, or even Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and so many other various things. Um, Clearly, the Achhe Din hasn't come for the poor. Achhe Din hasn't come for the middle class. It's just been for a few crorpatis like probably Adani, Ambani, and um, for the you've seen in the past like couple of years, farmers have been protesting. 700 of them died, and then they had to like take the three draconian
Farmers.
laws back. And even over here in our own Bengaluru South, about 200 senior citizens have died because of there is a huge bank scam. Raghavendra Bank,
Guru
Guru
Raghavan.
Raghavendra Bank, Vashishta, Kanwa, many others, and it's a huge amount, 2,400 crores, where lakhs of depositors, and these are not rich people. These are like poor, low middle class. Their entire hard-earned life savings has been stuck in this bank, and it's become a huge scam. The past 4 years, unfortunately, the sitting MP, who's a BJP candidate again, and his uncle have been saying, you can see the report, which is absolutely, just full of lies, unfortunately, saying that this is what I've done, this is what I've done. And they've been unfortunately, uh, it's been 4 years. In fact, they could have just given it to CBI, which is what we recommended in the meeting about a year ago. And it finally, when our Congress government came, it was handed over. Clearly, they're trying to protect a few people. And why isn't the Prime Minister of the country talking about them? Aren't they citizens of our country as well? I think it's high time, and there is a massive undercurrent. There is massive anti-incumbency for the central BJP government, and it's very, very obvious, not just here in Karnataka but across the country as well. And so when you don't have anything to show people what you have done in the past 10 years, you unfortunately have to resort to such kind of distraction tactics.
One thing that I've been curious about Bengaluru South is that the kind of population here is predominantly upper caste and upper class, and which typically votes for BJP. And you have raised the challenge this time around, but how are you appealing or tackling this basically like to this constituency that is so pro BJP?
I disagree with you.
Okay.
It actually has, people think that it is, but it's actually not. So it has actually everybody across all castes, all community, all religion, all class exist over here in our Nama Bengaluru South. We just have to look. So we have like the most poshest of houses. We also have, underprivileged people in the slums, and we also have, the middle class, small, old houses. And yes, I think it is really important that we reach out to each and every citizen of the constituency, from which I have been doing, not just now, but also as an MLA as well.
My last question here. The recent death of Neha Hiremat in Hubli by a man named Fayaz has been politicized. Do you see the discourse in Bengaluru South?
It's very unfortunate that violence against women has been increasing. It's not just Neha in Hubli, but also over here in our own Bengaluru South. There was a murder in Sarak. Her name is Anusha. There was another murder in Jayanagar in front of the MP's office. Her name is, in fact, Ruxana, and then Anusha. And then let's not just talk about what's happening across the country. What's happening to the women in Manipur? What about Unnao? What about Kathua? I think we really need to start addressing that the country is not safe for women. We are going backwards. And I think, irrespective of the fact that which caste or religion the perpetrator belongs to, we really need to make the streets safe for women. People like us, we women, need to be able to step out and go to colleges, go to schools, go to our workplace, and feel safe. And I think it's high time that every state government and every elected representative, especially the prime minister, really wakes up, because it's not just beti bachao, beti padhao, but kisse bachao.
This election season, your right to choose puts you at the heart of it again.
We'd like to be your eyes and ears.
Choose the journalism and media that serves democracy and you.
Simply log on to newslaundry.com/2024 election fund and choose an amount of your choice for the reports of your choice.